up, chat?
What's going on, everybody?
Let us
We're
know
live.
how we sound, because I had a really terrible tech mishap yesterday.
Oh, what happened?
For some reason, so over at 6-1, we're streaming every day to raise money for the American Heart Association for as part of Janet Garcia's team. And I went on to stream last night, and what we're doing is Mike or myself or other members of the team are going to be like co-piloting and just hopping in and talking while we play.
Well, that's cool.
I couldn't hear Mike at all.
Oh.
And I couldn't figure out, because you want to know why? My
Why?
PC only has one USB port available. I plugged that in to use my DualSense controller. It ruined everything. The Go XLR stopped working. My headset stopped working. Discord changed all the settings. It's wild. So,
oh, hot damn.
Once I have money, I need a new computer.
I was gonna say, I mean, remember their original plan.
No, I know.
I just gotta. Fuck, I gotta do that by December. Yeah. And there's a few things that we had to pay for that patreon.com/@PSTrophy. We need a new computer ASAP.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I forgot to say this before we went live.
Oh, okay.
And chat, be cool.
Okay.
Don't hit at anything that we talked about today.
What?
I want it to be a genuine surprise for when we announce it.
What do you mean?
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh, like the thing that we talked about just before?
No. The thing I texted you today.
Oh, yeah,
let's not hint. I want to keep that a surprise when it happens.
Yeah.
Also, how do you like my shirt? It's a Final Fantasy inspired Halloween shirt. It's got Moogles and the bombs.
Nice.
I got it on the Yeti.
Oh, okay.
Kyle Borchardt says, Kyle, what's your indie of the year? That is an interesting question. There's been so many good indies. It's tough. It's so tough. Dredge is up there. Liza P is up there.
Is Liza P an indie? So
it is a gigantic studio.
Yeah, because it's like 400 people or something, right?
It is. And the way I think we decided and landed on it was, if it's being shown off at like ID at Xbox, which it did, under the indie label, then we're just going to kind of go with what that is.
Fair enough. I want to visualize for a second.
Yeah. Sea of Stars is 1000% up there.
Oh, God, yes.
I played a game, which I'll talk about in the main show yesterday, that I loved, even though it came out technically last year, but first time on PlayStation this week.
Oh, okay.
Loved it. Rogue Legacy 2. Come on now. Again, finally on PlayStation this year. It has been like stellar. I can't speak indies praises higher this year.
And we're gonna put that person in a total.
I was gonna ask.
I mean, don't have if they're just like doing
X,
that.
X, A, X, X, A.
And then how do I hide user on this channel? Right.
I guess.
Okay, and then we're gonna one sec.
And yes, Savoy, you are gonna sponsor another game. It's called The Last of Us 2 Remaster.
Hey, Captain Logan, guess what? You have moderation controls, so if anybody acts out of pocket like that bot, you know what to do.
Send them to Joe's DMs.
Honestly, y'all were really mean to me about The Last of Us last week, which we're going to talk about.
Really? People were mean to you about The Last of Us last week?
I had like 6-ish, like meanish
I
comments.
don't even remember what we talked about Last of Us last week.
Honestly, I had to go back and like, what did I say that was negative? And even when I said, I'm like, this doesn't sound anywhere near anything, even resemblance of like bad. So, ban Kyle.
No.
Oh,
how dare you,
boy. Oh,
you can't ban me. I'm on the official Trophy Room account. If you ban
me
really? From chat, then the stream is over. I can't control anything then.
Hot damn. I am almost ready, Kyle.
No, it's fine. Yeah. Also, we're both under the weather. Joe has COVID.
Yes. I mean, I'll talk.
I know, but I'm just letting everyone know. If we sniffle, if I mute for a couple seconds because I'm blowing my nose because I'm stuffy,
Same.
We're going through it.
You're gonna see me pop these. Speaking of, I gotta get my watch on. My Dayquil mid show. My
Dayquil
ibuprofen
at 8 p.m.
Yeah, why not?
You're gonna be up. Like, don't do that.
Why? I don't have NyQuil.
Oh no, I think that's a bad idea, Joe. Dayquil gives you it like helps you stay awake and more with it. NyQuil does the opposite, where it makes you like tired and drowsy.
But then if it wears away, I'm gonna get extra stuffy. I'm gonna be up till like 12 anyway.
You're your own person. You do what you got to do. I'm just saying. It's a little late for Dayquil. It is nighttime.
You're acting like I'm about to do a bump. Whoa, Joe. What about ibuprofen? Humble brag. Kirkland brand.
Yep. Got that shit in bulk. You know what I mean?
Okay, watch this. Look what I got. Just arm's reach, okay?
Stacks on stacks on stacks. Blood pressure one. Friendly cough, cold and flu.
That's right. I'm gonna take this at 12:30. See what I'm doing?
Yay!
I say take it. Get some sleep versus no sleep. Thank you.
That's fine. Okay. I've never been able to sleep, or I can't imagine trying to sleep while taking Dayquil. Well, it jazzes me up. It's like the Celsius. Like, I'll be up for hours now.
Well, you know what? Let me just pop these bad boys, okay? Again, I don't endorse drugs, but I do endorse.
Savoy says, Kyle, I'll have you know that your slanderous Last of Us 2 remaster cover art, which is not, I didn't make it. It's real. It's the official thing. Made its way to the Carpool Gaming Discord. I despise you for this. Well, you're welcome. That's a big win in my book.
That's right.
Oh, Game of the generation for Savoy Prime right there. Last of Us Part 2.
That's right. 1 second, I got blow by this.
Yep.
So this is going to be a thing that's going to be a common thread.
Yeah, it's fine. Someone make a counter. Tissue nose blown. How many times? Over, under.
Before we begin, my desk did look normal before this show.
Oh, my desk is wild.
Y'all should just see the amount of Gatorade bottles,
the tissues, the.
I got this Tabasco.
Do you use that while you're sick? Is that like a clear?
No, I had a quesadilla today.
Oh, a quesadilla.
Yeah, so COVID's done something really weird. I'm actually super hungry all the time.
Yeah.
Don't get it. I don't get it one bit. Hashtag justice for Kleenex. Well, depends on how you use it. All right, Kyle, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready to get kind of heated for no reason.
Oh, me too, man. Me too.
All right, chat. We'll see you in a second.
Oh, wait, no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to episode 345 of The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, a.k.a. Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week, we are talking about the PlayStation 5 Slim finally being announced, The Last of Us Part 2 remaster/remake/rumor mill, Scrooge McDuck rearing its ugly head as Disney looks to buy publishers, cloud streaming is here, and so much more as we do it live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on youtube.com/PS Trophy Room. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host who ever is, who ever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How you feeling, man?
I'm all right.
You're feeling good?
I realize every single time that I'm sick and I have to blow my nose while we're doing a show, which happens often because you talk, congestion, kind of, you get naturally stuffy. It makes me realize just how awful having a mustache is. Right? When you're sick, because I'll blow my nose. I have no problem blowing my nose. It's fine. But the fact that when I come back and the fear of having like nasty
boogies.
Stuff in your mustache, So if I'm doing this a lot tonight, just wiping my face, you know why. How you doing, Joe?
I'm also sick. So just to let everybody know, I am currently COVID positive, humble brag. I am day 2. I'm not feeling as awful, thankfully. So that's why I'm here doing the show with y'all. But if you hear me, sneak a cough in there, if you hear me sneeze, my apologies. I'm going to try to edit them out as much as I can.
No,
but
you do not. You are sick. That's extra work. Don't.
But more importantly, if you hear heavy breathing like Tony Soprano's the co-host, that's not him. Okay, rest in peace. That's just us.
Yeah.
We're both congested. But you don't have, you just have a common cold, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Kyle,
whatever.
I was gonna call you Luke. Jesus,
that's fine. Yeah, this is I'm guessing what Owen had when he went to the ER last week.
Fair enough.
Which he's fine, by the way. He's much better, which is great.
Good. All right. But now you have it. And that leads me to the starter question. Before we talk about all the PlayStation stuff, okay, because I don't want to talk about the sickness that we're both down with.
Ooh,
I want to talk about.
I can never do that. I can't do it.
When we have to clear our throat, we just go, oh, and then that's how we can do it.
I just can't do that.
Oh, that's how we'll do it. I'm going to cause my throat to just start going into it. It led me into this question. I think we got something similar a few weeks ago. But what is the best way to game when you're feeling sick?
I'm sorry, you said the best way or the best thing?
Best way or even type of game that you want to play when you're sick, when you're a little stuffy.
I mean,
when you're a little down in the dumps.
It's kind of vanilla and generic, but give me just a very basic, not intense thing.
Yeah.
Let me kind of just zone out, play a game or whatnot. Even though when I'm sick, I tend to not play games.
Same.
I just can't do it. I can't wrap my head around it. So I tend to just watch movies or
what I've been doing,
autoplay. Like I don't care. Let me just sit there and whatever you feed me is what I'm going to consume.
So for me, this is the first time in a long bit where I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling great, but I'm going to go and play a game. I've been playing a ton of Assassin's Creed Mirage, and in between, I'm doing story stuff. And when I've been telling you I've been playing Assassin's Creed Mirage, I mean, I put an extra 10 hours just the last 2 days. That's all I've been doing. But I've been doing a lot of side missions, a lot of pickpocketing, because it's just way too fun to do.
Oh, I'll get into it later.
Okay, good. But then in between that, I'm watching The Office. I'm watching comfort shows. That's what I like to do. But I've been thinking about this, Kyle, as we talk about the cloud gaming stuff. I think now would be the perfect time just to chill in bed, play a little Final Fantasy VII.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I shitted on the PlayStation Portal when it was first announced.
Yeah.
Wasn't my favorite thing. Didn't think I have a need for it. I've since pre-ordered it because because I'm bad
at money.
But also it's football season for me. I'm a big sports fan. I can now play something while having the game on instead of having to choose either one. Or in situations where I'm sick, let me just go lay in bed and play a game.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been thinking about doing Final Fantasy VII. I have the tablet in front of me, or
the OG
doing
one.
The OG one.
Okay.
Or going back to Sea of Stars and playing that on the Steam Deck while I'm just relaxing, just getting my mind away from things. I think that would be pretty darn good,
Yeah, I agree.
That said, Kyle, listen, we have a lot to get into because I got a sore throat. You're going to do the Patreon pitch. But before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. We do have a Spider-Man 2 PS5 Deluxe Edition giveaway that we're going to be giving away a copy of. And here's how to enter. It's pretty darn simple. Follow us over on YouTube, or actually subscribe to us, get notified, like this video, and then share your subscription or pick of you subscribed over to PS Trophy Room on Twitter, and you are enrolled to win a copy of Spider-Man 2 on PS5, the deluxe edition with all the suits, with all the gadgets, and all the gizmos. Again, all you got to do is follow us at PS Trophy Room on YouTube and share it out at PS Trophy Room on Twitter.
We're almost at 7K.
We're less than 30 away.
Let's do it.
There's no way we can't hit that by the end of the week.
No.
It's so easy. You know? Just go for it. What's the harm of just going to YouTube on your mobile app and just clicking like?
I dare you to get subscribe. Us to 10K by the time the year's up.
Yeah, I double dog dare you. And of course, we'll announce the winner live on October 18th. That is what now? 2 weeks away. Ooh, we're getting close.
Not 2 weeks. That's next week. Spidey's next week.
We're getting too close. I better be fully recovered. If I knock on some type of substance. If I am to perish before we get to Spider-Man
Stop it,
2,
you won't.
I've had a good run. I got Ahsoka, but I still need Spider-Man. You know, so Jesus take the wheel for that.
Can I be real? Let me interject real quick. I have that thought all the time, and it's kind of messed up.
I better just make it to this date. And
yeah,
if I do,
I'm going to miss out on, the Resistance coming back if I don't get better soon.
Here's the fuckery of it all, Kyle. Okay? I bleeped it. Is that every time the week after something amazing happens in Star Wars, I contract something. So, like, season 2 of Mando, I was like, oh my God, this is like peak Star Wars. This is amazing. 5 days later, COVID almost kills me. I get the finale of Ahsoka.
The ultimate price. Some life essence is leaving your body from getting some.
Honestly, I can't be upset. I gotta say it's worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kyle. That said, a little bit of housekeeping. We also have the Trophy Room store. That's right. We got merch, baby. Go rep House Banger or Slinger. Okay? I'm not going to tell you which one to pick, but Slinger's the best one.
And Sony Pony Express. Yeah.
Yeah. And all goodies there. And now finally, Kyle, it's time for our Patreon pitch.
Oh boy, here we go. Newest members: Mitchell Gramling at the platinum level, Liam Russ at the platinum tier, John at the bronze, and Black Mavericks. Premium members: Todd Borowitz and Toxic. Platinum members: Jay Shea, Jedi Master Ren, Cowboy Danger D, Jonas Young, The Green Gorilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, Millennial Falcon Gaming, Ryuku Kills 90, Stephen Flesh, Stribbles and Bits, Bertos Maximus, Chris, Hybrid 748, Matt Valdez, Crystal Wizard, Solo, Liam Rust, Silcanet, Decime, Jadis Fallen Metal. Our gold members: Cypher Primus, Darth Simon the Pie Man, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Hide Indoors, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Marcus O'Neill, Red Arrow, Ageless Hermit, Androzosaur, Astronaut Jr., not to be confused with Astronaut Sr., Winter Gamer, Robbie Bobby Miller, Brenton Zachary, Brenty Blob, Bubble Boy N7, Captain Logan, Final Fan XZ, Hambone, JD Dillinger, M9 Prime, Stone Cold ET, Tino 6-Speed, N. Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Rick Arrington, Spammin' Bammin', Matthew King, Duh Overlord, Dewani Raksha, Rick Davis, and Lord Commander Suddy.
Thank you all so much for making this podcast function. It's the reason why we look so great, sound so good, is your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. So it's like we say each and every week, if we got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, maybe you're sick with the sniffles, hey, it really does help. You throw us a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And you know what? If we get to 100 patrons, I'll just say I'll give away another game. I don't even know what it is, but I'll just give something away.
Whoa.
There you go.
Exclusive.
All right, we're 15 away. Let's get to 100. You know?
Let's do it.
I'm not messing around anymore, Kyle.
I can't wait to give out BB and Tina's horse game, whatever it's called.
Yeah. My Barbie horseback riding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know? All right, Kyle, it's time to square up the news.
This comes straight from the PlayStation blog, which Knock it off, PlayStation. New look for PlayStation or PS5 console this holiday season. As the holiday season approaches, we are excited to share that we have a new PS5 model launching. To address the evolving needs of players, our engineering and design teams collaborated on a new form factor that provides greater choice and flexibility. The same technology features that make PS5 the best to play are packed into a smaller form factor, along with an attachable Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive and a 1 terabyte SSD for more internal storage. The new PS5 has been reduced in volume by more than 30% and weight by 18% and 24% compared to the previous models. There are 4 separate cover panels, with the top portion in a glossy look, while the bottom remains in matte. If you purchase the PS5 Digital Edition, you can add the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive for PS5 later, as it will also be sold separately for $79.99 US. The new PS5 model will be available starting this November in the US at select local retailers and direct.playstation.com where available. It will continue to roll out globally in the following months. Once inventory of the current PS5 model has sold out, the new PS5 will become the only model available. The recommended retail prices for the new PS5 model are as follows, beginning with the rollout in November at participating retailers. The PS5 with the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive is going to be $499.99. PS5 Digital Edition $449.99. The disc drive sold at $80. Have 1 terabyte of storage versus the 825 gigs in the original. Joe puts, you could put a Call of Duty on it.
You can.
PS5 Slim doesn't come with a vertical stand, needs to be bought separately. It costs $29.99 to stand the console vertically. Two times USB Type-C front of the console, Wi-Fi 6 supported, volume reduced by 30%, weight reduced by 18% versus digital or 24% by the standard disc version. PS5 Slim will still support expandable storage. All other specs remain the same. Released November in the US of A 2023. Joe didn't like it.
Kyle. You're not even gonna get me to the first question of the night.
Don't like it.
All right, well, this is gonna be definitely an episode. And the Creed Gorilla Gamer writes in, and I love you, bud. Sup, boys? So, Sony likes to watch me suffer, and they announced the PlayStation 5 Slim a little over a month after I just bought the Spider-Man one. Because of my circumstances, I have 2 questions. Question 1, do you think Sony should have released this a little sooner so they could have had the Spider-Man 2 the collector's bundle? And question 2, am I the only one that thinks the new PlayStation 5 Slim is actually kind of cool looking? And Joe, do you think it's finally time to do a brave and mend the bond between you and Luke Lord?
Did you turn Luke's mom into a bear or something? Like what?
Never.
What happened?
Brave, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Oh,
but if it's
mom turns into a bear. Arrow. Spoiler alert.
Okay, well, I'll shoot Luke Lord right in the chest with a bow and arrow if I ever see him in public.
Oh, okay.
I won't miss. That's my superpower cap. Kyle, why don't you like this thing? Why do you think? I think it kind of looks cool, Kyle.
Looks aside, okay?
Okay.
My whole thing isn't about how it looks, because honestly, to me, it has a racing stripe. That's literally, it's the same thing.
It's like we talked about it with the rumors. Like,
exactly.
Remember, racing stripe, 10% faster.
Yeah, it's the typical cool guy haircut that I tweeted about, which is the line in the hair. Right. Looks aside, sure, I get it's aesthetically pleasing. I actually have no problem with the way the OG one looks. My issue is everything else around it.
Well, how so?
It's like the pricing. The pricing is wild for the digital version, right? You're upping it $50, okay? Yep. And then for those down the line who want to add the disc version, that's $80, which will then make that more expensive than the disc version. And
I like people in the chat are telling me the drugs are kicking in. The Paxlovid's hitting real good if I'm thinking this console looks good. Yeah, go for it.
And the fact that there's whoever is in charge of rolling out PlayStation news needs to figure their stuff out. Why are you going to show this console off standing vertically, but the vertical stand is not included?
Yeah. Okay.
Messaging, Joe. Messaging. It's wild. No. Don't walk back. You know I'm right here. Get out of here.
You don't need the stand to stand it vertically. All right. My PlayStation 5 digital, I lost the screw. I don't like to admit when I do silly things. I don't know. I have no idea where it went.
You don't need it. Okay.
Vertically. You don't need it.
Cool.
It's one of those dumb Apple decisions where it's like, yeah, why does this clear case need to be $50 when I could get a case that does the same thing and better for $20?
I'm going to trust that $30 vertical stand over that tiny little plastic clip that to hold it horizontally in this new version.
Okay. Fair enough. So for
great
those of you
meme,
who
by
don't
the
know,
way, of I think someone put like all of PlayStation and then they pointed at that little clip saying Insomniac.
Yeah, so here's where the design still loses me, okay? Aesthetically, I like it. Sorry, I just do. I think it's a cool design aesthetically. But functionally, if I have to use a kickstand to just leave it horizontally, that's a failure. I just gotta point it out. It's not a good look. I don't think it's a great design in that way. So this console doesn't come with like the previous console with a plastic cheap little stand. That really what you do is it sits on it kind of like a pedestal, and then if you were to lay it down, you kind of hook it to one of the fins and you lay it down that way.
It's like
it looks like this one has a
Mousetrap, and it's one of those little sticks you pull to trap a rodent. That's what it looks like.
It's just, for me, Kyle, I'm there with you where it's like aesthetically the console looks fine.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I really don't care what the console looks like because it's the games that I'm going to be playing. Like even for like my Spider-Man PS5, which I love, I bought it because I love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Same reason why like I bought the Spider-Man controller. So to me, it's like at the end of the day, I'm just turning it on. And if I'm just like staring at it like it's a modern art piece, it's like I'm doing something wrong. I should be playing the games.
And to be fair, this is not for us because we already own the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
It's not a pro version. It's not going to run games any better or anything like that. This is a silly... I'm being salty for no reason. Okay?
Right. Yeah. I mean...
It's fine.
My complaints kind of go with Ace Insane, which I'm going to be fighting off a cough while I talk
Would you like me to take it?
Yeah, please, for the love of God.
Hey guys, regarding the new PS5 Slim models, which are still 2 inches taller than the Series X, by the way. I've never been a fan of the detachable disc drive concept, but it now does not make monetary sense either. Purchasing the digital model has gone up to $450 in the US, while the detachable drive on its own will be running at $80, making it more expensive to buy the two together than just buying a disc model PS5 Slim. To this, I ask, does it make sense to pay more money for a feature you can have on a cheaper model that has all the same specs? And if it's a cosmetic thing, does it really matter what the hardware design is and not all the amazing games we get to play on it? I believe most PlayStation fans would buy their console no matter how wacky a design. I think this may have also been a way to raise the price of the digital model for the US with less attention on it. That's just me speculating. Would love to hear your thoughts.
That's so
crazy. I agree with all of this.
I agree with all of it. I really do. I know we were having this debate back in the day when this was just a rumor of just like, no, I'm all for a detachable hard drive because theoretically you could get rid of one SKU entirely, the more expensive one, and you could sell people on the fact of like, hey, listen, and it'd be really aggressive for Sony to go, hey, we're cheaper than the Xbox Series X, and we're just $100 more than this quote unquote anemic, Series S, right? What a great place to be in. And at the same exact time, you get people into your ecosystem. Awesome. But for those of you who don't want to be digital only, you have the quote unquote options that you could give them, right? By having the other SKU there, the $500 SKU, comes with a disc drive. I'm like, then why is this even a thing?
Yeah.
Why couldn't this just have been something I plug in the back of my already digital PS5 and have it work that way?
The fact that you can't use that on current digital consoles is wild.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. So like that's my big problem with it is like the digital version doesn't make any sense at its price because even just marketing wise, people when they take a look at a 5 in terms of if something is $350, the average consumer is just going to round up to 400.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like people are probably looking at this going, for just $50 more I get the option. So, like, at business sense, it doesn't make sense to me, but
sounds familiar to a certain somebody just saying, get the disc version.
I mean, I'm now on your side. I don't see any point in getting the digital version unless you have, you're never going to go to GameStop, right? Like, unless that is the case, I really don't even see it. I don't see this as a good move, even when you're selling it as like, hey, it's 30% thinner, it's like 20% less volume, there's less components in here, but we're charging you $50 more. It's like, but there's less of the thing in there.
Yeah. And most Spankins in chat is saying that it is essentially just a revision for Sony to get the old model out and bring this new one in.
Yeah.
And so it's not consumer focused thing, which is 1000% true, but it also leads to what the future of how they're going to be marketing console hardware though.
Yeah.
Like whenever it comes to whenever PS6 happens, which I hope doesn't happen for a long time, we're going to get into this whole thing of which is the canonical version of the PS6. And I don't want to be a part of that conversation because you mentioned, the whole digital thing, and with the detachable disc drive, it's giving consumers a choice as to what they want to consume their, media or whatever on.
Yeah.
On the flip side, it is taking away the choice from those that are physical media people by pushing a digital only thing, going back to the collector's editions not having an actual disc. It's just a code.
Yeah.
Right. So now that there is a disc drive for everybody, I hope that physical media can hang on a little bit while longer.
Yeah.
But it's still very, very, it's just, this whole thing's just weird. Why not just make this the Pro?
Yeah.
And then unveil the Pro like next year instead of this is now the Slim, and then we'll get a Pro next year or in 2 years, whatever. And it's probably going to look even a little bit more different. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So like when it comes to the look, it's like, listen, the GameCube was a lunchbox. It literally had a handle. When did you ever use it? So like, to me, it's like, it's function over style. So I don't really care about that, but like, it really is everything around it. Like there's some good stuff in here. Like the 2 front USB-C ports, that's really important for those of whom, like me, who have a PlayStation 5 headset that uses that dongle and a PlayStation VR 2. It's imperative that there be 2 ports there. Wi-Fi 6, great. That's awesome for folks that are not near a router that can't be just, wired in. That's great. Even like just hey, we up the storage. That's also fine. But
like you said, it can hold a
stuff.
Call of Duty. Like a terabyte is not this game-changing thing that it was back in the day.
Not even that, but like, dude, the way that memory has gone down in price, like we should be at least 2. Like we were at a terabyte back in the PS4 Pro days, So like, it's kind of ridiculous on that front. So like, to me, if you're buying a PlayStation 5 for the first time, this isn't a bad place to start.
No.
I don't think the OGs theoretically are better or worse than this. They're just the same console. If for us, like nitpicking, I have 2 PS5s. I'm not gonna get this anyway.
Yeah, no, I will not unless something happens to this one, and this is the only option. But I do
writes in.
Really quickly though, I do think
please.
I wonder why this is the reason why like those Spider-Man plates are so high in demand and they're not making any more of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, they're probably just making the split design one now, and that's where we'll eventually see it. And which is. That whole plate thing is weird also to begin with. You just announced these things and now they're for a limited, time because that OG system will be gone.
Yeah. Once the Slim comes out, and they sell through on the OG, no more. And it's weird. Strange. You're right. They just announced like new plate covers.
Yeah, the Deep Earth collection.
What are we doing?
Which they did say on
Wild.
Which they did say on the
blog that it's not these are not compatible with the.
No, but
Slim.
they are making Slim versions of those colors.
Yes. So for me, again, aesthetically, I dig it. But functionality wise here, I'm somewhere in the middle. It's like I don't love this. I'm not like the rest of the internet that just likes to trash something to trash it. In terms of like revisions for PlayStation, this is probably on one of the better like sides of it. Like I want to know what was your favorite revision of a PlayStation console? Because like to me, I'm gonna keep it.
It's got to be
PS3, right? Yeah, because the Fat Boy was definitely a chunky boy, and like 3 fixed a lot. I loved it,
but yeah, when I think PS3 though, I don't think the OG though. I think of the Slim.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that because that's when you jumped on board, or is
no? I had the Fat Boy one, but
interesting.
My Fat Boy PS3 died fairly quickly.
Fair.
And I think I forgot what the timing was, but I distinctly remember the little dome horizontal matte black PS3 more than the Fat Boy. But shout out to the PS2 though revision as well. That's the PS2 Slim. That's also legendary, going from that big chunky thing to that little tiny DVD player.
Absolutely. And someone just said in the chat, it's like Sony's going back to get a second job, Sony, and people just excuse it. And it's just like, man, I can't argue with it. I mean, when you're charging $30 for a stand that used to be a part of the main console, it's like, yeah, we're reaching this. Sony thinks they're Apple, and listen. At the end of the day, I think Jez Corden, Xbox dude, right, even said it's like this move just shows that PlayStation does not view Microsoft as a legitimate threat to their business. I mean, because here, we should be condemning them for all this stuff, but we're so baked into the ecosystem that we're like, it is what it is. I don't need a stand.
Yeah.
So, it is crazy to see some of these moves out of PlayStation. Hopefully this is the last we see of the
hopefully
this is like the goodbye of the Jim Ryan era. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But hopefully whenever the Pro is announced or whatever it is, they get it right.
Yeah. Now, Una writes in, she says, I hope you guys are doing well in regards to the Slim model due to the old model being phased out once inventory runs low. This is going to be the only console model people will be able to buy. With the price hikes, it seems the market for this is people don't have the console, which leads me to the question for you two. Do you guys only see yourself getting it if your current PS5 breaks?
Correct.
Yeah, I have no reason to get another PlayStation 5. The next PlayStation 5 I'll buy is my Pro console. If that is a real thing.
I mean, do I miss my second one that I had in my room? Absolutely I do. Yep. But like now that I have the Portal pre-ordered, that will cover that.
Yeah.
So I don't have a need for a second one at the moment. But as soon as this one breaks or it's running real bad, straight to GameStop I go to trade it in for the new version.
Never buy refurbished kits.
Nope. Definitely not.
Regimus Prime writes in, Sup boys, bit of a silly one. But with the PlayStation 5 Slim having 4 removable plates, what would be your dream color combinations, or maybe even a special edition segment on each plate? As I said, random, so feel free to ignore it. No,
not random.
I love this question.
Give me those sacred symbols colors.
Ooh, each plate is
a different color: pink, green, red, and blue.
Ooh, I was thinking just like give me like the letters.
Oh, or the symbols too? Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm sure it's real ugly, but like I dig it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or do the shoulder buttons. L1, R1, L2,
R2. For me,
and they're haptic, right? You can go up and press them, and they give feedback.
The racing stripe lights up. For me, I just keep it simple. I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors. Purple, blue, not red. No. I would love to see them do another Spider-Man one. And when Wolverine comes out, let's be honest, not 2024, but like whenever it comes out, let me get them yellow plates, dude. Let me get some.
Hell yeah. The OG Wolverine X-Men costume?
Oh,
yes.
You kidding me? Let's go. Yeah, that's what I want.
I mean, also selfishly, sports fan, give me the Mets colors. I'll do a blue and orange, top and bottom.
I don't hate that one bit. Yeah. I mean, you can work the blue in, and when it's in standby, it's orange.
Yeah. Or even like a trophy room blue and white.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
But Sony has to talk to us first.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, enough about this PlayStation 5 Slim, which we think is all right.
Yeah.
Well, you think I think it's all right.
Again, it's not the Pro.
Right.
If it was the Pro, it'd be different. Because it'd be a different type of conversation. This is literally just, like Mo said in chat, it's just a revision to phase out the OG, and this will be the new standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what
I mean, it's their way of making it consistent in terms of like prices that or money that comes in for them. It's like similar to like the other SKU for the Xbox Series S. Yeah. Right? Like there's a $400 edition.
Yep.
I bet you that the 500 gig console gets phased out eventually.
1
It's
million
just their way of pushing one model over the other. That being said, though,
I still think the disc drive's dumb, though. I will not give up that hill.
Honestly, now I think it is.
Yeah.
Because like we didn't even get to that. You buy the console for $450. Then for like what is it, $560 at the end of the day? Like stupid.
Yeah, no.
That's even without
version.
tax.
Exactly.
Yeah, just get the disc version, yo.
If they're the same width, right?
Yeah.
With the detachable disc drive on it, just get the disc version. It's dumb. I didn't get to use my comparison, so that's good. I didn't get that heated.
Yeah. All right, Kyle. Let's get heated on this next one, though.
Oh.
Because this is where I think the roles will be reversed.
Oh, it definitely will be. Zarmina Khan over at PS Lifestyle writes about Savoy Prime's favorite game of all time, The Last of Us Part 2 PS5 Remaster, listed on LinkedIn, giving credence to rumors. He just nods in the Discord every morning. He goes, "What's up, friends? Can't wait to go to Jackson, Wyoming today in my 18th playthrough this month." Like he's really digging it. I appreciate that, and it's cool that they got his quote for the box art of
it's on the back of the box.
Yeah, it's amazing. Rumors of The Last of Us Part 2 PS5 Remaster have been circulating for some time following a recent listing. It seems like the game's existence could be a lot more real than people thought. Fans spotted a job description from a Naughty Dog developer on LinkedIn via Twitter user Ilya recently, with the developer listing his job as quote-unquote lead outsource artist. Among the responsibilities listed, the developer notes that he is, quote, responsible for overseeing the production of all outsourced environment art assets, weapons, and interactive props for two iconic titles, The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us 2 Remastered, end quote. The description has since been edited to just include The Last of Us Part 1, with no mention of The Last of Us 2 Remastered included anymore. Reports of a remastered version of the 2020 game have been circulating for some time now. Earlier this year, The Last of Us composer Gustavo Santaolalla, I can't say his last name. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm offended.
No, I can't roll my L's or R's. I can't do it. I
can't do it right now with how congested I am.
Gustavo also implied that a remaster was coming during an appearance on a Blender podcast. During his appearance, he mentioned that a quote-unquote improved version of the game would be on the way. Naughty Dog has not announced an official PS5 upgrade for The Last of Us Part 2, but there's a precedent of Naughty Dog upgrading and porting The Last of Us. The PS3 original was remastered for PS4, which was updated for PS4 Pro.
Kyle? This isn't needed.
You're so wrong.
Why? There is nothing mechanically wrong with that game. I'll stand by it.
Yeah.
It functionally one of my favorite survival horror games. Like it stands toe to toe, I think, with Resident Evil 4 Remake. I love both of them. I think mechanically they're both incredible. Visually, the game looks incredible. You could tell me that game's running on a PS5, I'd be like, yeah, I believe you. Like, looking back on it right now, I I can't believe that that's on a PS4, right? Or when I remember it, a PS4 Pro, humble brag. So to me, I look at this console going, I don't need this edition, Kyle. I don't need it one bit. Why are you so? Give me more of it. We will have 5 games of this in this series, 2 of them actually being original games, and 3 of them being remasters or remakes.
Sure. I'm looking at it as a way for everyone that just finally played the first one after watching the HBO show.
Yeah.
This is a no doubt slam dunk gonna sell like crazy and make them a ton of money. That's the way I'm looking at it, and it's smart that way. And I'm also on the side of things where, like, let me play the best version of the game no matter what. If they find a way to make it better in whatever way, even though I think it's perfect the way it is on PS4, fine. I will try it out. I will play it. I will buy it. I'm part of the problem. I understand. But, like, it's literally one of my favorite games of all time.
But Savoy's favorite game of all time.
Oh,
Don't
absolutely.
Forget that.
Yeah, I won't forget that.
I think it's easy to say he loves it even more than you.
Yeah.
But doesn't it depress you that, like, we're not going to get a new Naughty Dog IP in this generation?
We will. They have multiple teams.
You're very optimistic.
I'm very optimistic. Yeah.
I mean, listen. Last week we talked about the multiplayer game not working the way that they wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of nasty comments on my birthday, guys, of all days.
How dare you?
About the route that Naughty Dog would probably make, which is moving on from one project that didn't work out to one that would be safe. Mm-hmm. And as you transition people over to part 3, it makes sense to have a group over there that goes, hey, listen, by the time this game comes out, or by the time Remake hits, Season 2 will probably either be in production or exit production. It gives us time to get the fans of the series that are going to buy this day one, suckers like me, suckers like Kyle, and then that second breath of life for people that just watch the show on HBO because I don't know what it's one of the most critically acclaimed TV shows this year. And I think when people look at this and they roll their eyes, and I happen to as well, because again, I think the game is great on its own. Yeah, the truth is there are people like my brother that will love this show so much, they will go out there and play part 1, and then they will go out there and buy part 2 and then play that and love it too.
And to address Landon in chat saying, why can't new show viewers just play the original version? It's not like it's a bad experience. How many times have you gone into a Target, a Walmart? If you are a book reader, right? You go into a Barnes & Noble, whatever, and you see a book that has another transmedia type of thing, a TV show, a movie, whatever. It's going to have the cover of the show and saying as seen on TV or something.
Right.
And people will buy that because they know it's a thing that they can watch. So it's a similar thing here. They're going to put out a PS5 version, say, play this before season 2 on HBO or whatever. And have that branding on it, and then people are going to be like, oh, I watched the show, I loved it. Let me see what it is before, the new season comes out, because they think it's a brand new game.
And, I mean, to answer Landon's question, too, is it doesn't give them as much money. Listen, you could go out there, buy Last of Us Part 2 right now. I've seen it as low for like $20, I think.
Yeah.
PlayStation definitely wants that $70 money.
Yeah.
Right. So they'll make this 4K, standard 60, all that stuff. Right. Maybe they'll throw a multiplayer mode in there.
Probably not.
They'll be like, probably not. But like they'll call it a day.
Yeah.
Right. They'll be like, here's some new features to get fans back. Here's some new one or two neat things that wasn't in the original that could quote unquote justify the price tag. But yeah, what in the land of which Resident Evil 4, I know, bring it up for a second time, has been remastered countless times.
Yeah.
And bought countless times. There's a reason why it's...
How many times have you RPG fans out there bought a Final Fantasy VII on every device possible?
Exactly.
I have. It's just... when you're a fan of something, you want to play it or watch it or do whatever in a whole bunch of different ways.
Yeah. So like for me, it's like I take a look at like Resident Evil 4, like what is that, GameCube, then it was PS2, then it was the Wii, then it was the PS3, then it was the PS4. That like so it's just like, yeah, of course, like if if the audience will go out there and buy it, then who's to judge them for doing it? Right? If the market says, yeah, we do like this, and it shows with The Last of Us Part 1 selling well, that people want this, they're gonna go out there and do it. And it gives the team time to stretch their legs as they make the PC port of this thing as well. So yeah, as much as I don't see as as much as it bums me out because like I just want to see the new thing from Naughty Dog, I could understand why they're doing it, though I'm not 100% there. I also have to realize, and us who are listening, watching, have to also realize this is not everything has to be for us. And yeah, sometimes it could be for them, and that's fine.
Yeah, and I do want to push back on you when you say we're not going to see another Naughty Dog game this generation. How long was PS4?
No. What I'm saying, my argument was not we're never going to see a the next game from Naughty Dog. No, I want to see their new IP.
No, got it. Okay, I thought you meant just
after The Last of Us.
I just thought you meant like a new Naughty Dog game because I was about to say PS4 had Remaster, Uncharted 4, Lost Legacy Part 2.
Exactly.
So, but
hey, is Jiminy back in the background?
Oh yeah, I've God literally bless. Caught hundreds of them.
God.
Really quickly though, I do want to put out a little bit of doubt into this.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just overanalyzing it, and it does lead more credence that it got edited, but the fact that it's called The Last of Us 2 Remastered and not The Last of Us Part 2 in the post is giving me a little bit of a pause. Especially because they specifically mentioned Part 1.
Right.
Why not also in the same post put The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered?
It could just be a silly little error.
It could, right? But I don't know. Just a little thing.
Fair enough. Well, listen, how about you and Jiminy take away the next thing to talk about here?
Lots of P got real, real
got real fast.
Really quickly though, before we move on, because it's on topic. Yeah. I got these really cool scent things. It's not an ad. I'm not being paid for it. I just think they're awesome. Video Flames on Etsy. They made like Last of Us inspired like smells. So I have like a Seattle. I have one that's apparently smells like the spores.
Don't sip that one.
And Jackson, and I have the RE4 one in now, and it smells great. They make he's making a Spider-Man 2 one. So if you want to really immerse yourself while you're playing the game, go
Smell-O-Vision.
Smell-O-Vision. They smell great.
Savoy Prime's gonna buy 3.
He just bought out the whole stock. It's crazy. Anyways, Tom Ivan over at VGC writes, Disney's bosses are reportedly being urged to consider acquiring a big game publisher like EA. Disney CEO Bob Iger's deputies are reportedly pushing him to consider acquiring a major game publisher like Electronic Arts. That's according to a new Bloomberg feature examining the current state of Disney, which claims senior executives want Iger to explore the possibility of transforming the company from a gaming licensee to a gaming giant with major first-party capabilities. However, Disney's boss is said to have been non-committal about the prospect of acquiring a game publisher. Iger, who is now in his second run as CEO of Disney, oversaw the acquisitions of Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 21st Century Fox during his first spell in charge, as well as working on various Star Wars titles, including Respawn's Star Wars Jedi series. EA announced last year that it had struck a deal to make quote-unquote several new games based on Marvel properties, including Iron Man and Black Panther titles. It was reported last May that EA was actively pursuing a sale or merger in the wake of recent mergers and acquisition activity in the games industry, such as Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which could be completed this week. News site Puck a Puck claimed EA had held talks with Disney, Apple, Amazon, and Comcast and NBC Universal over a potential sale. During an earnings call last summer, EA CEO Andrew Wilson was asked about reports that the company was pursuing a sale. Quote, "First, I'm sure you don't expect me to comment on rumors and speculation from some small red media outlets," he responded. "But be that as it may, I would tell you, I think we are in an incredible position. We're soon to be the largest standalone independent developer and publisher of interactive entertainment in the world," end quote.
Stop right there. I love when he's just like, "I'm not going to answer this from some small site. I'm going to answer it." Sorry, go for it.
He added, quote, "I think we're growing across platforms, we're growing across business models, and we're growing across geographies. And in a world where gaming is becoming more important to the lives of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who will be the leading generation in terms of consumption entertainment for the future, I don't think we could be in a stronger position as a standalone company," end quote.
Jeez Louise. That's exactly sounds like someone who's really looking to sell their company to some tech company that doesn't know any better. Okay. Kyle, this sounds like the worst idea ever. Let's start with what Eon888 writes in. They go, simple question: would Sony buying EA cause the coming of the apocalypse? What a combination. A company that is killing its IP through poor quality products. Listen, don't put Ahsoka in that pile, all right? You could put I don't know, Skeleton Crew, because I don't think that's gonna be good there. You could put that in there. Okay?
What
you
is
could put Rise of
Skeleton
Skywalker in there. It's the next Star Wars show, but it's like
okay.
the Goonies, but
Excuse
I don't
me?
buy it.
What?
It's like the Goonies, but Star Wars. That's like
okay. The
sales
Goonies
pitch.
is literally my favorite movie of all time. That's all I have to say.
Never seen it.
You're fucking nuts. What are you? What are we doing here?
Don't make me die. An oversaturation and a company that is killing its IP through poor saturation. Could you imagine the loot boxes? Buy this box or Mickey Mouse will find you. Kyle, when you hear a big named company, whether it is, Disney or whoever, going out here, they don't know games.
Nope.
But they're sure as hell looking to buy something big. This worries me greatly.
They got walking around money.
They don't got just walking around money. They got, we need to figure something out money. Right? Like,
also to Landon in chat, Gen Alpha apparently is people born from 2010 to 2024.
Fair enough. I have to say, what the hell is
Landon asked in chat. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I've never heard that before. Yeah. So
yeah. But like, to me, I take a look at what's happening here, and it just worries me. Like, Disney, say what you will about them, but they're probably though they're on shaky ground, they're probably one of the big juggernauts in Hollywood that's still doing decent-ish, right? As they're all kind of struggling because superhero movies aren't what they used to be anymore.
Although they are also joining the line of everyone upping their streaming service price to a ridiculous amount.
Exactly, with not enough content to justify it. So, like, for me, it's like, I kind of think you need to figure out what your house, like get your house in order before you even start knocking on some doors. Because this, I'm going to be honest with you, there's no way this ends well at all.
Absolutely not.
Like, if I had reservations about Xbox and Microsoft going out there and buying Activision, and they know games, rather, some people would like to fight about that on social media. They're actually in games. This is a company that just doesn't know its ass from its elbow.
Yeah.
In terms of games. So, like, to me, it's just, I don't know, man. I want to know your thoughts.
I don't like it. That's really all I can provide in this trying time. I'm with you. I'd prefer somebody that knows the game space make this kind of acquisition, if an acquisition was ever going to happen of this magnitude.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to happen?
Never say never, right? Like, who would have thought Microsoft would have bought Bethesda and Activision Blizzard?
But and like, my concern is like, okay, so they buy EA, then what happens? Like, theoretically, they could take like once the Spider-Man deal is over, they could take Spider-Man and go, hey, it's going to be at EA Motive now.
Jeez, yeah.
Right. Same with Wolverine, whatever happens there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Disney, if we're looking at it, they're not too happy outside of the PlayStation deal that they have with the performance of their Marvel IP. Guardians of the Galaxy, though, is a fantastic game. You ought to play it. It's one of the best superhero games, period. Didn't do well. Avengers didn't do well. So, like, Marvel's Midnight Suns, though, dope as hell, didn't do well. So they're kind of looking at it going, okay, our licensing thing, it isn't working the way we wanted it to. What if we just handled it ourselves? But even then, it's like, okay, so you could put new faces and new names in here. You've never made a game, Disney. That's the concern.
Well, they did.
That I have.
They did previously, right? The what was the figure game? Infinity.
Yeah,
they did Disney Infinity. There were other Disney game things, but they were
sure.
That was years
they're like
ago.
Licensing out to they're licensing it out to other developers to get a handle on it. But like, your game output isn't that spectacular. I don't know what you can do to make it like. I don't think buying it is the Band-Aid that you think it is.
Nope. It's another Embracer situation.
Right.
It's going to run into a moment where they're going to figure out that we're in over our heads, and then people are going to get laid off, and studios are going to get shut down.
Exactly.
And
it's like, this doesn't work.
Like that. Yeah, no.
It's the same thing with Amazon, right? Like, look at what's happening with them. Slowly cutting away from gaming, and people are losing their job. Look at Google, right? So it's just like, again, I don't think this is. I think companies are looking out from the outside, looking into games, going, "This is going to be the cure to all of our problems." And it's like, games are so expensive to make. There's so much more risk in making a game than a movie, than a show. It takes longer to get them off the ground. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. You know what I mean? So this gets me a little nervous. That said, Solo writes in, just like you can too. They ask, if Disney seizes EA, will this ensure that we get a new Battlefront entry with a campaign, of course? God bless. That's how you get goodwill back. If you bring back, what is it? Oh God, you gotta change the name. But like the people that did Battlefront before, Pandemic Studios, I think that was their name. Get them back, get them in the seat, and let's make a good Battlefront game. Hell yes. But I feel like EA is in such a great position right now, Kyle, too, where it's just like, they're getting back on track. Like, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is legitimately fantastic. It did really well. So it's like, looking at what Respawn has done for EA, hell, the new, what is it? The football club, right? FC. It did way better than they thought it was going to. So it's like, I don't want to see more companies that have no idea what they're doing come into the game space and mess it up like an Embracer. It just bums me out. That's all I got to say. That was my TED Talk of the night, Kyle.
Thank you for doing
Anything you'd like to add?
Nope. Jiminy is just driving up a wall currently, so.
Fair enough. Honestly, I did not hear him. Jiminy the Cricket, everybody. Every once in a while, for newcomers, the Crickets come, they have a beef with the Stevensons, and they fight for about a month.
Even though I have 6 traps and have caught every single ancestor to Jiminy, they still find a way.
They still persist. It's time, Kyle. Force of flashes. Gotta run. Gotta go fast. Run fast. Oh, goodness, so gracious. Spooky Jack Skellington. Alan Wake skins might give you Fort nightmares. This comes from Push Square. Jack Skellington is a skin that you'll be able to get. Okay, you got Mr. Alan Wake from the critically acclaimed game Alan Wake, and hopefully Alan Wake 2. And then Michael Myers joins the Fortnite crew.
Amazing emote, though, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for. First off, Kyle, I want to know, who is the best slasher, like, horror person thing?
That is a great question. I have been watching the Scream franchise for the first time, so that's on my brain. And Ghostface is pretty awesome,
right? Thank God you said this.
I'm not a big fan of Jason.
Fair.
I think Freddy is great, and I also
Freddy's great.
You know, Michael Myers though I think is also God tier. Because he's the one that genuinely creeps me out.
Really?
It's the William Shatner mask that they painted over. That's what creeps me out.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. Yeah.
No way.
Yep. I forgot the story behind it. I think it's that Netflix show, Your Favorite Things, This Is How We Made It, or whatever the title of that series is. They have a Halloween one, I think, and they talk about they needed a mask because it wasn't scary enough, and they bought a Shatner mask and painted it.
That's really interesting. Because real talk, I just watched was it Friday the 13th for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
For 1 and 2.
Okay.
Spoiler: these movies are like 50 plus years old. You had time.
They're not 50.
Whatever. It's like the 70s, the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, actually. Wow,
I didn't know. Jeez. Jason doesn't get his mask until the 3rd movie?
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's so iconic. When I think of
his
horror
mama
slasher,
is in the one doing all this stuff in the first one, I think.
I mean, who knows? We're going to get someone angry in the comments. I never watched it. I was going to be
come on.
Time. Even I knew that walking into it. Real talk, though, those movies, I think you should watch them to appreciate them, though
definitely
they don't hold up. But you can see the vibe.
To see wwhere horror has come and the nods and stuff, I think, for sure.
I think Michael Myers is probably the weakest one.
Seriously?
Yeah, he doesn't. Leatherface scares the crap out of me. Okay. I would think Jason as well. Like he's pretty menacing, but like I like Ghostface, and I like how like in each movie like Ghostface has like a different like personality almost.
Somebody
like,
taking up the mantle. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you never know which one you're gonna take, but like the one in the latest movie where the mask is kind of distorted, that one's my favorite one. I think that one's cool as shit.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Jiminy agrees too. Kyle, it's time. And also the emote that Kyle's referring to is Mike Myers doing his theme on the
piano, but using the knife for the dun.
Yeah, dun. I can't. Honestly, I am going to buy that skin. I just want the emote. That's how they get me. You know?
That's how they get you. You're part of the problem.
I am. All right. So, what games are joining the PlayStation Plus Extra lineup and premium lineup? Well, here they are. The extra list: Gotham Knights on PS5, PS4. The Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes on PS5, PS4.
Heard good things about that one.
I hear good things as well. Yeah. I think that's the one I'm going to play with the wife. Disco Elysium, the final cut on PS5, PS4. Far Changing Tides on PS5, PS4. Gungrave Gore on PS5. Elite Dangerous on PS4. Dead Island Definitive Edition on PS4. Alien Isolation on PS4. Outlast 2 on PS4. Eldest Souls PS5, PS4. Roki on PS5. First and foremost, this list stellar. They understood the assignment. We want spooky games. It's October.
Yeah.
Get us something spooky.
I'm glad they have the theme of spooky times.
Yep. And for PlayStation Plus Premium, Tekken 6, PSP Classic, Soul Calibur, The Broken Destiny on PSP Classic, Apex Escape Academy on PSP, and IQ Final on PS1 Classic.
And here's where you lose me. You did so well with PS Plus Extra. There's no horror classics to put in the PS Plus Premium?
Oh, Kyle and Jiminy, don't you worry, because guess what's happening? Guess what? I'm skipping all the way down here. You say there's nothing for premium, Kyle? You say there's nothing for premium
I meant
users?
for the classic lineup. That's what I meant.
What about classic film? What about classic cinema? What about the sequels from obscure movies you never heard about and you went, what? They got sequels? How?
Yeah.
With a DVD budget, that's how.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the PS Plus premium subscribers can now stream up to 100. That's right. That's 10 times more than 10 Sony movies at no extra cost. What I like to call the Wawa collection, because these are the movies you'd find at the bins in a Wawa.
I can picture the stickers, the price stickers now.
Oh my goodness. Sony has released its own movie streaming app on PS4 and PS5. You'll be able to buy and rent movies through the PlayStation Pictures core app, but there's a decent perk to subscribers on PS Plus. Whoever wrote this, you're lying. On PS Premium and Deluxe, depending on what market you're in. Members will get access to a library of 100 ad-free Sony pictures at no extra cost. Sony lineup includes such movies as Looper, Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15, Elysium, and Resident Evil Damnation. The library will receive periodic updates. The company also plans to add some anime content from Crunchyroll to Sony Pictures Core, and it notes that the benefits for PlayStation subscribers are on the way. Kyle Stevenson, my man.
It finally happened. They tested it out in Poland last year, right?
And they loved it. They couldn't get enough of it over there.
And it took a full year to add headlining titles of Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15, Elysium, and Resident Evil Damnation. Looper's good. I'm not.
Oh, you're not down on Looper?
No, I'm saying Looper like is good. I'm saying the other three not my favorite.
I feel like if you're starting at Looper, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You got like Boondock Saints 2 in there, for example. You got like some Steven Seagal films in there.
Hey,
all right.
Hold on now.
Oh, you're a big Seagal nut?
No.
You're telling me? All right.
But here's the one that is like mind-boggling to me. Highlight the PlayStation themed films. Uncharted, Gran Turismo, others.
But Kyle, they're not on the service. Again,
in
it's
this
all
picture
like the
they
worst
are.
movies
On the blog
and
they are.
that's what's deceiving. So this app is literally a second Netflix. It's like, hey, you could stream some of our movies, or you could buy them for the PS4, PS5, and it's like so essentially you got rid of the movie tab in the PlayStation Store because nobody was buying it, just to make another separate app on the media list so that you think people could buy it. We've already talked about how there's too many subscription services out there. There's too many apps out there for movies and TV. You're going to add one specifically for like Bravia TVs and like PS5s? Like, where do you no. Stop this. This is, people have already found, like, if you're on Roku, you're gonna be a Roku person. If you got your Google stick, you're probably there, or Fire Stick, whatever.
Your Apple TV, like I am.
Apple TV, like a normal person, you got that and you're there. So like, you're not gonna rip people away. And especially if you got Wawa, movies in there.
But like,
Kyle, here's one.
No, yeah, go for it. No, go for it.
Kyle, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? PlayStation 5 Day of Indie lineup. This is from your favorite thing, the PlayStation blog. Kyle and Jiminy, take it away.
Jiminy, do you want to start? Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, I'm translating.
He's actually started chirping.
Yep. Uh-huh.
That's amazing.
I can't say that. I can't say that on the show.
It's PG-13.
PlayStation, what are you doing? I
don't know, man.
So here's the thing, and we did Mank and I did a whole rant on 6-1 Indie about this. We've been preaching, do an indie-focused state of play. I'm not saying don't do the blog thing, but don't just make the blog the only thing to highlight these games. This should be an additive thing to an indie-focused state of play, or some sort of video presentation to tweet out, hey, in the next hour, we're going to talk about 4 indie games. In the middle of a workday is not the best way to get eyes on these games. And the fact, Joe,
tell me about it.
They already have the branding of Indie Day. Just make that into a video format and be like, hey, next week we're going to have our Indie Day presentation where we're going to talk about these 4 games who are all coming soon and they all look great, Like Dredge took over, gaming for when it came out. It was one of my favorite indie games of the year. New DLC November 16th.
It's on my fantasy critically, Kyle.
Yeah, you're great. I'm very, very jealous of that. Karma Zoo, a great Devolver game that looks like a ton of fun with friends, coming out in November. The Gecko Gods coming to PlayStation with like haptic feedback, DualSense, looks cool. And Salt Sea Chronicles, which is the follow-up to the indie gem Mutazone, I think Mutazone, comes out tomorrow as of this recording. So like big indie announcements to just throw in a tweet and throw on a PlayStation blog is not the best way. You have the branding, put it into a video format, and if you want to do a blog post like you do for every other state of play anyway, go for it.
Like they should definitely. Oh, Jiminy wanted to chime in a little bit.
He's just cursing now. It's very, very bad.
He's a big indie nut as well. No, I agree with you. This is getting the blog post pushes are getting pretty obnoxious at this point in terms of like pushing out indie and VR content. Even we talked about they revealed new hardware in a blog post, and I think it just goes back to it's a great way to sell folks on advertising your wares on their site because they know, hey, if we announce stuff on the site, more people are going to come to it, right? It's kind of where media, especially in games, is going, where it's like, yeah, these are now official posts from companies rather than gaming outlets, because PlayStation and Xbox and EA and whoever can now kind of go, well, why do I need to make a Game Informer first exclusive when I could just kind of control the narrative, control the production on our end, and we don't have to hire out anybody to spotlight our game. Who cares if the cover of Game Informer this month if we got the exclusive scoop on our end. So I think that's where games is going, unfortunately, because then at that point it's getting just distilled down to just marketing beats. But at the end of the day, I think it's PlayStation going, okay, well, we know this site brings a lot of traffic because we announce stuff on here. So when, Capcom or Square Enix or whoever wants to go and, advertise their game, or when we're doing the business deal of like how we're going to advertise and market your game, they could go, well, our website here brings X amount of traffic, X amount of views, X amount of engagement, and that's why it's going to be a smart move if we make your game or we put out your game on the PlayStation blog. Like, for example, a great example of this, Kyle, and I hate to bring him up, but look at Abandoned. Why did we start talking about this game? We just saw it at a PlayStation blog post. Why did PlayStation put out a blog post? Honestly, most of that still escapes me, but probably that developer put out the cash to put that on the blog. So a lot of people don't kind of realize it's kind of a two-way street in terms of like how PlayStation, Xbox, all of them cover games on their respective blogs. It's more of like a marketing advertising thing.
I will say though, for me personally, I would be embarrassed if I was PlayStation being the only big three that doesn't have an indie video presentation.
Yes.
That is embarrassing. Nintendo's got Indie World, Xbox has ID at Xbox, which, say what you will about their presentation, both completely different in how they do things, but they're still showing you the games in a more, this is an event, come watch. This is just like, hey, in the next hour we're gonna hint at some things.
Or were you on Twitter at like,
it's just
Platform X at 10 o'clock in the morning?
It's so frustrating. Just make the thing.
Again, it all comes down to numbers, because PlayStation's just like, yeah, we could build all of that, but we like the big numbers that like the Twitch streams and YouTube gets.
It's frustrating.
On the main site.
And I honestly think if they do start doing these indie focus things, will help quell everyone being underwhelmed when a state of play comes out and there's more indies than not in those. Yeah, because the messaging will be there.
Absolutely.
But what do I know? I'm just some dumb PlayStation podcaster.
You sound like a fanboy right now. You sound like an Xbox fanboy. How dare you? The last 10 minutes we have not been kind to Papa Sony, but I will be
They
kind of
deserve
Papa
it.
right here, right now.
All right, go for it.
PlayStation 5 cloud streaming launch date set for PlayStation Plus premium subscribers. This comes from Anthony Nash over at PlayStation Lifestyle. According to Sony, in a new PlayStation blog post, the PS5 cloud streaming will begin rolling out in a phased approach. Currently, Sony is targeting a October 17th launch in Japan, October 23rd for Europe, and then in the good old North America in October 30th. The service currently available in a variety of other countries. PS5 cloud streaming will be available for PlayStation Plus Premium and will allow players to stream supported PS5 digital titles without having to download them. Sony notes that a select PS5 games will be available to stream, with the company hoping to have hundreds of PS5 titles, in quotes, supporting cloud streaming. Alongside streaming games, Sony also noted that the game trials on PS5 games, as well as DLC and in-game purchases, will be available. When players stream games, they'll be able to set the resolution to 4K, which is a huge deal outside of this article. And the service will also provide all PS5 supported audio capabilities, including 5.1, 7.1, and as well as Tempest 3D audio tech. The DualSense controller will also be fully supported. This is actually pretty nuts.
Here's where I rain on your parade.
Oh, come on, Kyle, be nice.
You why doesn't this work on the PlayStation Portal?
I mean, fair enough.
The messaging is all over the place. You have this PlayStation Portal that's designed to stream from your console over Wi-Fi, but this is not going to work, and they're roughly coming out around the same time. It's just a little weird. It's baffling to me. So there's some mixed messages that's going on big time, or missed opportunities rather.
Do you think that PlayStation maybe this year is launching too many accessories? Because say what you want about this cloud streaming thing, but like maybe it's.
I just know it's not for me, so it's fine.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, because maybe it's muddling the messages of a few of these. Maybe there are people that's like PS Portal. Yeah, no, this will work on that. Yeah, and it won't.
No, it won't.
And it's gonna bump people out.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't know what. And to answer that question, are we getting a little too much of like non-IP news? I would say a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of like, here's some services, here's a new thing you could do, here's some cool new headsets which are still not available for pre-order yet.
I need those earbuds.
But the other InZone ones were just on pre-order the other day, which are different from the PlayStation Link earbuds.
Sure.
It's all very confusing. It's
very.
I don't get it.
Well, you know what I do get?
Oh, I get this one.
The swift kick of justice. The Unity CEO, John Riccitiello, retiring from the role following pricing debacle.
Retiring. Quote unquote.
Unity's audacious plan to charge developers for the privilege of players installing their games has hit an unforeseen snag, with an announcement that the CEO and architect of the scheme, John Riccitiello, will conveniently be retiring effective immediately. The news was announced today in a statement which proclaimed Riccitiello retired as president, CEO, chairman, and member of the company's board of directors effective immediately. James W. Whitehurst, which sounds like a person from the 1800s, has been appointed as interim CEO, and the statement goes on to thank Riccitiello for his years of service to the company without directly referencing the elephant in the room. Almost a month to the day, Unity unveiled its ill-conceived scheme, which immediately hit with opposition and walked back, but not entirely. The installation fee is apparently still going to be a thing, but there is at least some caveats. Regardless, Unity's reputation is in tatters, and it seems that at least one head needed to roll for the fumble. So we talked about this literally a month ago. Unity's scheme that really upset a whole lot of developers, people that teach games, code for games, schools, all that stuff.
Because
if
it was
you wanted to learn how to code,
policy.
Yeah, if you wanted to learn how to code outside of something that's going to be easy to use, this is probably the thing that you wanted to use outside of Unreal. And yeah, this finally came to head, and John's gone. So bye-bye.
Good.
All right, Kyle.
I did also find it funny how he was listing all the titles he held.
You know what scared me though?
But
someone, one of the comments goes, Sony's looking for a CEO.
No, please, no.
Don't put that curse on me, Ricky.
Don't put that in the ether. Don't do that.
Don't you goddamn dare. Kyle, it's time for one of my favorite segments, something I've been dying to talk to you more about. It's called What You've Been Playing, and I want to lead it up with a question from Bertos Maximos, who writes in, my question is AC Mirage related. I'm going to start by saying that this game is absolutely beautiful. There are some graphical improvements that could be made, but overall, it's beautiful. Oh, and so the limited edition Spider-Man controller. Now my question, are there any improvements that you would make to the game, and what are your thoughts so far on this game? As always, have fun. Keep bringing the excellent content. House Slanger for the win. God bless. Don't be changing or redacting it, Kyle. That's why I read this question.
That's so strange how you just changed it in the doc on the fly.
No.
It said banger, and then I watched you highlight it and copy and paste Slanger over it. How dare you?
All right.
It's ridiculous.
You know what? Whatever you need to say.
There's a lot of
to
coping going on in my life right now, Joe. Let me have it.
Fair enough. Likewise, brother. Likewise. Kyle, I talked a little bit about AC Mirage last week. You got your hands on it. I want to know your thoughts.
I'm roughly about a little over 10 hours in.
Okay.
Haven't done a whole lot of the story.
Fair.
Just kind of running around, getting all the viewpoints and syncing them up or whatever. And it's fine. It's not like I enjoy the scaled down aspect of it. I enjoy Baghdad's beautiful. I love the setting. The characters are great.
Yeah.
There's just something about it that it's missing a little something. I think the combat is not great. And I think that's where I am having trouble being all in on it. And I'm not like the stealth stuff is fantastic. I love sneaking around. Right. I love assassinating the guards and whatnot. Yeah. But when they notice you and then it becomes a very simple kind of combat thing.
Yeah.
I think they scaled that back a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
And made it way more simpler than what I think they needed it to be. And the fact that dodge is on square, what are we doing here?
And there's no way to change it.
What are we doing? I pressed circle so many times.
And I'm like, it's circle, it's not square. Yeah. Why can't I remap this?
It's insane.
We're gonna have to
but
use the Edge controller for this. I'm not primary right. But I hate using it outside of
but I like it.
Nonetheless.
It is fun and running it around, even though it still has that weird parkour jank that all AC games I feel have. Where like you're running up something and it's not like you like stop at an invisible thing. Right? Like I see the brick that you have to grab onto, but I'm not holding the directional stick in the right way, the right angle for them to make that move. So it's just fine. I'm having a good time. Right. I'm going to finish it, obviously. But it's not like overwhelming me with like one of the best things I played this year.
I could see what you're saying in terms of like, you're right. The combat's too simple. Like to me, I get where, naturally that is a staple of the previous AC games and something that I liked. But even in those games, I felt like, I don't know, when the guards swarmed you, it was like all hands on deck. Let's kind of use
it was more free flowing. This is a little too stiff.
This one feels like it's kind of too forgiving. Like I'm playing on normal. I'm like, maybe I should bump this up to hard because the window for parry, it's just like, just press L1. You can hold it.
Yep.
I've never failed a parry, I don't think.
Yeah.
Failed to dodge plenty of times because dodge is on square because I don't know why. But like, yeah, there are some aspects where it's maybe a little bit too scaled back, but I would love to see a happy medium where they take some of the RPG natures from the Odyssey, the Valhallas, and implement it here and give that more stealth-based combat a go, because there's something about this game where it's awakening this thing of like, I should go back and try Unity. I should go back and try Syndicate. I should go back and play the Ezio trilogy. Like, there's so much good here. The fact that I've not hit a Animus, clip yet is so good. Like, just make it a period of peace each and every time. That'd be nice. I think Baghdad is lovely.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really beautiful. I love the greens throughout it. Mm-hmm. And like the emeralds that they're using. Traversing, I think, is better.
Figuring out the puzzles too are great. Like to get into locked rooms and trying to figure out how to get in there. I do definitely enjoy that a whole lot.
Yeah. So like, and that's actually an aspect of Valhalla that they snuck in there as well. So like, yeah, to me, I'm really enjoying it. Like, if I were to place a number in my head right now, it's like it's sitting somewhere at an 8. I think the reviews, for the most part, got it right.
Yeah.
But I'd skew a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying my time with it. I think the biggest downer for me, though, is the story that I just don't care about.
Fair.
It's very one note. There, I don't know. It lacks the umph that like Odyssey and even like a Valhalla had.
Fair.
So that's where I think it does me a little bit.
Shout out to pickpocketing, though.
Fun.
I just go around and just pick everyone's pockets.
Oh, yeah.
I think most of my time is that and getting the special pickpockets for...
Yep.
Is it Darwin?
I think so, yes.
Where like some will have a golden icon and you steal from them to get goods to help fund the hidden ones in the story.
And I would love to have an AC remake of the first game.
Yes.
Because I have the Altair cloak.
Oh,
and so I've been like running around. I'm like, oh my god, this looks so great. Oh my goodness! If I was only playing it made me yearn for like the older titles, and I think in a really like nostalgic, fun way. So yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
It's a good game. It's just not like a home run that I was hoping.
And I mean, for $50, like I somewhere like sometimes you could feel like, this is a large DLC, but it's like $50 can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's still pretty meaty.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, what's this little gator game you got written down?
Oh my god, one of my favorite indies of the year.
Oh really?
No joke. So it came out on Steam and Switch last December. And this week it finally came to PlayStation and Xbox. It is essentially you play as a gator, and it is a Zelda game.
So am I like an anthropomorphic
yeah, you're talking English.
Humanoid?
Yeah, you're walking around.
I got feet.
Yeah.
Posable thumbs.
You have friends that are other animals that you talk to, and the basis of this game is you and your big sister, when you were younger, used to play out legally not Zelda. I forgot what they call it, but they would play it out in real life on this island. And now that you've grown up, you keep wanting to play it with your big sister, but she has now adult responsibilities. So the whole game is you trying to get her interested in it, and you have cardboard cutouts of enemies throughout the island that is like you just break apart for cardboard for currency to use to unlock new hats and gadgets and whatnot that are like everyday kid items that you use. And it's so wholesome. It's literally the most chill and relaxing game. And if you have a sibling or if you have young kids or whatnot, it does get a little emotional at the end because it like reminds you to like not lose that childhood
and to give them a wedgie.
Definitely not.
Give them a nugget.
But it's like there's no combat. It's all exploring. It's similar to if anyone's played A Short Hike, where you're just exploring. You're finding friends.
Yeah.
You have a stamina
meter. There's a little plushie.
Climbing.
He's cute.
Yeah, it's so adorable, and you can platinum it within 3 hours, which I did.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's a very short experience, which I'm kind of
How
digging.
much is it?
I think it was it's if you're a PS Plus member, I think it has a discount. I think it's like $15.
Oh, all right. If it's $15, I'd hop on that.
It's so cute. I can't recommend it enough. It's awesome.
Because honestly, in the point of my life right now, I think wholesome.
Honestly, yeah, fun. Being sick, me yesterday, just sitting back and not having to worry about dodging or parrying or action-packed sequences, and just live in this world with kids, and it just captures the essence of what it was like being a kid so well.
Okay,
it's so good. It's a good time.
How about this one, you sicko? Roblox.
So I played it because my niece wanted to play it. And so I sat here while she downloaded it because they play Roblox. We went through this. I don't like Roblox, so I wanted to see it in my own eyes.
Right.
I effing hate this, Joe.
Oh, really? Robbie Bobby Miller loves this.
Robbie Bobby Miller. Oh, my goodness gracious.
That's right.
I didn't see any of like the really cool things, right? That look like their own games on their own that they kind of showcase in the trailer. I saw more basic things that my niece was playing. This is so predatory on like microtransactions. It's nuts.
Oh, wow. Really?
And it is so like gambling focused in some of these games. There's a literal thing like the Squid Game with like where you have to jump on the glass panes.
Yeah.
And get to the end. That's literally a game that she played. When you get to the end, you get 10,000 fake dollars. And then you use that money to just spin a wheel to get prizes. And it never lands on the big dollar amounts. It lands on the little things. And it's like, keep going. Go do this again to get more money to come back to spin the wheel.
Jim Ryan didn't care about those kids.
And for the one chance to get the super power up. Oh, by the way, all these little on-screen prompts of like, here, press, the left directional button to jump higher. Oh, you can't do that. You have to buy Robux to unlock that skill to use it for a one-time thing. It is just like... Also, to mention, all of them have Xbox button prompts on all the menus.
It's not a good app. It's not a good.
It's literally insane.
Wow.
It genuinely scares me outside of like the other stories and whatnot. No, but they have to play it while I'm in the room because that's the other thing. It's very easy to just get Robux.
So I was gonna say you need to put.
They're all on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like literally you go to use a skill, whatever, it pops up. Oh, you need Robux, and then the meter slowly builds.
Yeah. And
then it doesn't tell you what button to press, so you can think you can press the right button, but it will bring you to the store to buy Robux.
Huh.
It's maybe not all the games and all the levels are like that, but the few that I watched her play. Very dangerous. I do not like it.
Okay, fair enough. Roblox, don't like.
It's very easy to see why they make so much money.
You know who also makes a whole lot of money?
Yeah, this little known game of shooty bang bang Call of Duty.
Right. That's right. Activision gave us a code, so I went to try it out, and by golly geez, I played. Oh my god, the mansion map, which I the name's escaping me. I'm sorry. Again, COVID. And I played Rust. I 1v1'd a whole bunch of people on Rust. And let me tell you guys, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. You could definitely see that this is like I'm gonna give you the cut here. I can understand why or how this game was made in under like the year and change, right? Because this game apparently was like hobbled together. It's because they're using all of those classic Modern Warfare maps in here.
I did notice scrolling through TikTok, like the promotional stuff where this is Modern Warfare 3 with 16 Modern Warfare 2 maps. Like that sounds weird.
But and so here's the thing. So it feels like a little bit faster of a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 of last year. I think like some machine guns are probably going to be my best bet in terms of how I'll be skulking out the competition. That wasn't a phrase I just made up. Whatever, Dayquil. That's right. I popped it during the show.
Fighter of the COVID.
But man, the remastered maps just feel. It does feel like I'm coming home to high school again. You know, like this is like most toxic Joe, time period. But there's just such a love that I have for it, especially Rust. I was having so much fun in this beta. Again, I only played for about like 1 or 2 hours, but man, I'm going to be playing this game. I'll be buying it day one. Yes, it's more Call of Duty, and yes, it is a lot of it, just remastered maps of old, but you really can't hate on, these are the best maps in Call of Duty. Like, these are the most synonymous maps with the franchise coming back. So it's like, yeah, you could complain that it's like, why am I paying $70 for it? But at the end of the day, you're getting Rust.
Dumb question.
Yeah.
I know this is just a beta, it's just multiplayer. Is there a single player component to this?
Yes, there will be a single player component to Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, wait, that's right, because they did that really strange demo during Summer Game Fest.
And I dug it. So, Odyssey, man, like...
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. It hit right for me.
Fair.
So I'll be playing the beta again. I think it's this weekend. It's open for everybody. This was just for PlayStation members because we're cool. The last one, by the way. And yeah, I dug it. Yeah. All right, Kyle. The Dayquil's really kicking in. We gotta wrap this show up. But before we do, are you holding on to anything?
Yeah, I'll hold on to my spores.
Okay, good. Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront. Really can't do that voice. Not this week. October 9th, Builder Simulator on PS4, Mage and Monsters on PS5, PS4, Two-Lane on PS4. On October 10th, Blink and Vacuum and the Vacuum of Space on PS5. Builder Simulator on PS4, Little Gator Game on PS5.
On. Builder Simulator releases on both days?
I'm not going to question it. Long Gone Days on PS5, Roblox on PS4, River City Rival Showdown on PS4, Wild Card Football on PS5, PS4. On October 11th, Honkai Star Rail on PS5. On October 12th, Haunted House on PS5, PS4, and Salt Sea Chronicles on PS5. On October 13th, you have Alphadia 1 and 2 on PS5, PS4, Desoladium on PS5, PS4, Lords of the Fallen on PS5, and The Grinch, A Christmas Adventures. What?
I know.
Whatever.
In
on
October?
PS5, PS4. In
Weird.
October? Okay. Weird. Not the date I would have picked for The Grinch. Maybe the Jack Skellington, sure, but...
It's almost like there's a whole month that you could have dropped that in and been totally fine. I don't know.
That's just me. Kyle, it's time for our last segment of the night, but our favorite segment, and that is called the Sony Pony Express.
Yeehaw!
Kyle, you mind reading these?
Well, I was going to say, you told me I was going to do most of the reading, and then you just took it.
I don't know, man.
I'll take it.
I don't even know where I am.
This comes from Katie. Hey, guys. Hope we are doing well. Fairly, debatable.
What's your definition of well?
Kyle, hope little man is doing okay. He definitely is. And Joe, hopefully the Rona hasn't got you feeling too down. So there are a lot of rumors going around about a God of War Ragnarok DLC/expansion being in the works. It's also being labeled as a half sequel. So if this turns out to be true, my question to you is, what would you like to see? If this could potentially set up a sequel to Ragnarok, where would you like the story to go? We're going to try not to answer spoilery.
No spoilers here.
Yeah.
No. I would like it to focus on another character, like in Lost Legacy.
Yes.
So, like, I would love it to, like, maybe let's focus on, like, Atreus, right?
I'll do one better. Give me a Thor game.
Oh, like a prequel sequel type of deal.
Or just like, there are moments in the game where Thor is gone and you're not seeing him. Like, give me those moments in between.
Or that one area in God of War Ragnarok where there was a showdown of some sort with two mythological creatures. I would like to see that story told.
Very much so.
So
that'd be
actually,
a great expansion kind of thing of just us doing that.
this is the type of content that I want, by the way.
Yeah, the Miles Morales.
Give me a Miles. Give me a Lost Legacy. In between the big games that you're making, make the smaller experiences. One thing that I love about Assassin's Creed Mirage is like, I'm halfway done with that game. I'm like 15 hours in. Like, I love the experiences that they don't have to be 30, 40, 50 plus hours. Not every game has to be that. So give me the smaller experiences. I would like that.
Yeah, for sure. Fuji writes in her best cowgirl voice. Oh boy. I can't do a cowgirl. I have a question for that damn Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! That was terrible. Okay, back to normal now. The Crew Motorfest has opened up the game for another trial period for players to check out the game. I for one am keen for this. What games that you haven't played yet would you like to see have a trial?
Oh man,
I've got one. It comes out in 2 days as of this recording. Give me a Lords of Fallen trial.
Yes.
So, because like that is the reason why I got Lies of P, because I got to play it. Yep. If it was a Souls game that I did not like to play or didn't feel good, I would have not bought Lies of P. And I didn't play the first Lords of the Fallen game. I need to know how it feels, if it feels fun.
Yeah.
So that's definitely mine for sure.
Yeah, and I'm also worried about that game because I've not heard anything about it.
It's got the weirdest embargo. Like, people can stream the game. People are streaming the game, but media can't talk about it yet.
Yep.
So strange.
It's so strange, and I hate those things. Like, you should be able to, if you're playing the thing, you should be able to say if it's good or not. Like, it's one of those weird, like, we'll give it to streamers first, but not outlets.
Unless it's the same embargo regardless.
Right.
But if it's this weird stagger thing, just talk about it. Whatever.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of reviewers talk about like this weird staggered play early approach that I don't think it's beneficial to the consumer, but nonetheless, that's a very much inside baseball thing we just talked about. Only us and like 5 other people are like, ooh, well, tell us more. Yeah. I would say that, and give me Alan Wake 2. I would love to play that early.
It is soon.
I would just like give me like what's that hour of like Alan's gameplay?
Yep.
Or Saga's gameplay.
Yep.
Like give me a little bit of that. That's what I want.
Very
in terms of games I haven't played yet, I can't even tell you a game I haven't played this year that I'm interested in.
Yeah. Or games that we missed, right?
Can't.
Like maybe Forspoken. Was that Forspoken this year?
Oh yeah, but I mean that had a demo for better or for worse.
It did have a demo. You're right.
So,
Cowboy Danger G writes in, question for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
What is your favorite what if in gaming? Back in 2003, a legendary game called Soul Calibur 2 released. And if you remember, each console had an exclusive character. Hell yes, they did. Xbox had Spawn, GameCube had Link, and the PS2 version had Heihachi from Tekken. The GameCube version was by far the most popular, but did you know that the PS2 version almost had Cloud from Final Fantasy VII? Ooh. It was very close, but for some reason they couldn't pull it off, so Mr. Tekken himself had to be a last-minute replacement. So I ask you all, what is your favorite what if in gaming? As always, love you guys. Shiny side up and Team Ranch for life.
God bless. Ranch for the win, by the way.
Sure.
It's a great condiment. It's not a salad dressing.
I don't know if he's referencing the condiment or the style of cowboy homestead.
Yeah. Oh, no, ranch. Yeah, you get a nice ranch house. Yeah.
Either or.
I like that.
If Cloud was in Soul Calibur 2, that would have been dope as hell.
Yeah. I mean, Link being in Soul Calibur, you're never going to get that again. That's sad.
Was 3 the one that had Geralt, Yoda, and...
I don't know if...
was it only those 2? Yoda was definitely in a Soul Calibur.
He was definitely in Soul Calibur, but I think it was Soul Calibur 4. Yeah, you had Darth Vader in there too.
Yeah.
Like, you give us weird shit like this.
I mean... I don't have one that's on the relatively small scale like this, where like a character shows up in another game.
God, Yoda is so cool.
My biggest what if is, what if the agent came out? What if the agent
Yeah.
is an actual game that we got to play and is in this alternate universe a major IP for PlayStation? What does that mean for the games we got?
Here's the thing. Yoda's hitbox doesn't make sense in Soul Calibur 4. As much as I love it, I'm seeing him. This is just cheating. First off, here's a quick little just sidebar. Prequels, I don't like the prequels in Star Wars. I'm not going to judge you if you do.
But Yoda's dope.
Yoda's dope. And I will go to bat for the Yoda Dooku fight scene. Okay? Every time. When I squealed as a kid, I was losing my mind in the theater. Me, little kid, seeing Yoda hop around with a lightsaber. And he's like, oh my God. And when he's just like, skilled you all with the Force with a lightsaber, he whips, I was like, no way is he going to do this. And then when he does it, I'm like, honestly, closest thing to a religious experience I ever got as a teen. All right. In terms of what if Apple actually got to publish Halo?
Ooh.
So,
was that a possibility?
Yes. So this was shown at like the 99 Apple conference, where Steve Jobs got on stage and he showed off Halo for the first time. And Halo was an RTS, if memory serves right. And Master Chief was just like a specialty soldier with a way different voice. Again, maybe this is where the COVID fog's setting in.
So Halo Wars is essentially a nod to how it all started? Yeah. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Bill Gates got on the phone. They're like, nope, Apple cannot be a part of this gaming space that we have here on PC. And so they made a deal with Bungie. And then when they were making that deal with Bungie, they were just like, hey, listen, we're making this game console. We want you to premiere Halo on it, and we want you to make it a first-person shooter.
That's pretty awesome.
What if they got Halo? What if it was always a strategy game? Where would Apple be? Would they be anywhere?
Where would first-person shooters be?
Exactly. It makes you think. But also play Halo Wars. Yeah.
Ghetto Barry writes in, hey guys, my sleeping pattern has returned to normal. Yay. Hope you had a great birthday last week, Joe, and wish you well through this COVID. And Kyle, I hope all is well. Thank you. This year we celebrate Kill Bill's 20th anniversary. Wow. I love Kill Bill. Have you seen this? Have you heard this? I can remember. That should be our next shirt, by the way.
Yep.
I can remember a Kill Bill game being announced, then nothing. It took me today to realize that game was long canceled, yet part of me knew this, but still longs for it. If the Kill Bill game were to be released today, what would it be like? Would it be a side-scroller? Would it play akin to the Like a Dragon Yakuza series? And while we're at it, what other films out there would you like a game tie-in? And since we are sitting comfortably, what games based on the films are the best? Shout out to the Die Hard trilogy. Sending you both some 5-point palm exploding heart technique love.
First and foremost, I saw a post on Twitter of like, that little girl should be in her 20s right now in Kill Bill 1. Let's get the revenge film for her. Ooh. That would be so freaking cool. I love Kill Bill. I got the whistle in my head. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So freaking awesome. It's one of my favorite, what's his name? Oh my God, director. Why am I blanking? Quentin Tarantino films. Yeah. It's like Django and then that. I like Pulp Fiction a lot. I think those would be my top 3.
Yep.
Best film to.
Well, what if there was a Kill Bill game?
Oh, sorry.
What would you like it to be? I think a Yakuza game is like, yeah, perfect.
Sifu.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bam, end the conversation. That's just dope.
Other films that I want a game that is actually good. Give me a modern day Goonies game. We've mentioned it before. Favorite movie of all time. All we have is the NES game.
Yeah.
Give me a full-on action adventure game playing as the Goonies. Yes. Please.
The Back to the Future game was dope. The Rocketeer game was dope.
Are we talking the NES. Oh, okay. We're not the Telltale Back to the Future.
No. Let's not talk about that. Was it episode 3? Revenge of the Sith on PS2 and Xbox. Dope. And Lord of the Rings. This was Return of the King. That was made by Visceral. So Those are like the best.
Shout out to X-Men Origins Wolverine game. Actually,
yes. Good. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Delicious Morsels right in. Gentlemen, I am still living in a perpetual state of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hype ever since that state of play last month. It's fantastic. Got my 19 inches of Sephiroth on pre-order, and I recently finished a playthrough of the original game fully modded. Let me first say that even without mods, the game holds up extremely well, and I'm excited for Joe to take the plunge. Agreed. But for this run, I wanted to see what all I could do to the game, so I ran with everything from HD textures and better character models to remake-style UI and portraits, all the way to the phenomenal Echo S fan voice mod by Sunamods, which adds full high-quality voiceover to every single line of dialogue in the game. Wow. I'd just like to take a moment to shout out that mod in particular, because it, above all else, completely transforms the experience of the original game. They even add lines to the previously silent FMV cutscenes. The Sunamods team went above and beyond with it, and they are even working on doing the same for FF8 and 9. Oh my goodness gracious. If you've got a PC or Steam Deck with FF7, a couple extra steps required on Steam Deck, but it does work fully modded. I highly recommend giving the original game a go in this way. That all sounds incredible.
I added this in just for you, Kyle.
They're doing that to 8 and 9. Oh my god, yes. That's incredible. I just needed a Steam Deck, and then I'm all over it.
There you go.
God, Final Fantasy is so special. I can't wait for you to play 7, and then hopefully that unlocks you to venture into 8 and 9.
Okay. I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
If not, it's no biggie. I get it, but they're awesome. And go to the World of Warcraft expansions yet. Punk.
Hey, listen. Listen.
You can't call me dork and not expect me to bring that up.
Mists of Pandaria is one of the best expansions. If you can look back past the panda people, all right, it's great.
Do you have something against furries? How dare you?
Yes.
How dare you? M9 Prime writes in, question for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! What are some of the worst or most game-breaking bugs you have encountered while playing games? Mine was Arkham Knight, where I got locked out of the game's ending. Oof! After some Googling, I found out that if you collect a certain percentage of Riddler trophies, the game locks you out of the standard ending and forces you into the ending that requires 100% collection of Riddler trophies and only unlocks when you have all trophies. When I found that out, I ejected the disc out of my PS4, deleted the game, and didn't even bother watching the ending on YouTube because it just ruined the experience.
Okay, did I just cough into the mic? My apologies.
I did not hear a thing.
All right, cool. I thought I muted it. I didn't. Okay. Worst breaking bugs. Cyberpunk, really. Every time I get to Johnny Silverhand, game would crash. Every single damn time, it would just crash. Just die. Just take a poop. Definitely that. That game was riddled with bugs in the beginning. Anybody like Ainsley Bowden who defends it, going, oh, it's fine launch. It's like, yeah, fine for PC and maybe the Xbox Series X. But everywhere else, I doubt it. Should have released this year, you know? Should have released last year with the PS5 update.
Yeah.
Right? But still one of the greatest games ever made.
I've talked about it before, but Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, I was going for the platinum, was like maybe an hour or two out from getting it because it requires multiple playthroughs. I fell through the world and it triggered a save state there. So I would just load in and just fall. And I couldn't do anything about it. So I quickly deleted it, took it out, and never have looked back. I can't do that again.
Fair enough. Like a lot of the bugs that like come to mind are like Skyrim, but like they're all kind of like
they're endearing.
Charming because it's endearing because it's Skyrim. You're having a blast, and like it's just awesome when. I remember playing it a bunch on PC, putting in all sorts of mods in there. Like I got like Dead Space mods in there. Like I got the monuments that would just randomly pop up and there's like undead creeping around. Like awesome, fun times. Yeah. But yeah, really it just comes down to Cyberpunk's the only one that comes to mind because it seems like every now and again you get like your game just crashes. Would you like to report it bug? You know, and nothing really comes to mind. But
AC Unity.
Oh God, yeah, the face. They
was
got no
kind of
faces,
fun.
but they
That's
got
not
eyes.
like game breaking,
Yeah.
but just terrifying.
Fair enough. Yeah, that is nightmare fuel. That is, and also I feel like it's hard to talk about it now too, because when we're lucky enough to get games early, you're often playing a rougher build of that game, and they tell you that up front. So it's like there are probably bugs I've run into in games that I can't really hold it up to that game because I was playing it like a week early. So
Yeah, I think Immortals had one that made me to like redo an hour or two. I can't remember,
okay,
but
fair enough.
nothing crazy.
Well, listen, Kyle, that has been the trophy room this week. Is there anything you'd like to spotlight before we get on out of here?
Sure, yeah. Myself, Mr. KSET, pretty much everywhere. 61 Indie. If you go to youtube.com/61indie, all this week we're doing daily streams to raise money for the American Heart Association. We're part of Janet Garcia's a team. She's doing a heart walk later this month, and we're raising money to support her and that cause. The link is in the 61 Indie channel. We have a QR code to scan, whatever. Any amount would be great, or you can just share it out. We get it, money's tight, but it's for a great cause, so go check all that out every day around 5:30 Eastern for a couple hours.
Awesome.
We're playing Steam Next Fest demos, and let me tell you, Tony Hawk like games are all the rage this year, and I'm all about it.
Can I join in for one of these days?
Absolutely, I don't mind.
All right. Deal. Yeah. I'll be there. I'll crash your stream when you're playing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, that's an awesome cause. Like I know it seems like you could like it seems like there's like every family you have like a person with one of those ailments. I know like my dad does.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's a really scary thing to go through. So have an organization that helps people out in need like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Go ahead, go do that. You can find me over at Mr. Badbit. You can find the show over at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. Remember our giveaway for Spider-Man the Deluxe Edition literally ends in a week, and all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel and then share your subscribe or whatever over at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. The COVID's really kicking in. It's just all a fog. Kyle's dying over here. Jiminy may be taking over his body. Time may tell.
No, I blew my nose, and I knew that I could not turn my face until I very much cleaned it up.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something real gross before we end the show?
It's up to you. It's your life.
Yeah. I remember in high school, we were just like walking one day, and like our friend, we'll call her Meg, she had really bad allergies. And she like, while we're just walking to the pizzeria, she just sneezed and she snot rocketed.
Oh boy, yeah.
And she's like, "Uh-oh, is it bad?" And it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, you're not eating pizza anymore.
No, I actually was not hungry afterwards. Oh, all right. Also, everybody, I want to thank you all for tuning in, listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, even that story, please rate us 5 stars over on Apple Podcasts, over on Spotify. It really does help us out, as we are, I think, about to crack over 1,100 reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts combined worldwide, wide. And it really does help us out. I love seeing and reading those comments. This week, y'all, I'm going to be upfront and honest with y'all. Probably one of the toughest weeks out there, as Saturday we're going to be seeing our dog cross the Rainbow Bridge, and it's been really hard on me, someone who is going through COVID, who would love to be there for his dog right now, but just can't because you got to be secluded in a room. So honest to goodness, when I say any kind word, support, again, whether it's like a 5-star thing on Apple Podcasts, just talking about how we've impacted you guys, it really does help. Even if it's just something on Twitter, you shout us out, it means a lot. And even the simplest things, please, at me, at Mr. Badbit, share me your pet pictures. It doesn't have to be a doggo. It could be a cat. It could be a lizard named Frank. It could be a snake wearing a little cowboy hat that this son of a bitch down below me is about to wear in about a month. Something around those lines would definitely mean the world. I love seeing that. It doesn't trigger any bad feelings. Seeing the love that everybody has for their pet, it really do a lot for me right now. So, with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody keep your wits about you, keep hunting, and keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Bye. Love you.